I can already kind of predict what I think is going to be your answer because Marcus has been the guy all along saying, you got to defer. I've been more like, I kind of see what they were saying. Defense gassed. The third possession. I get it. Well, there was no third possession.
Well, let's back it up. Were they saying that that the defense was gassed?
I think so. I mean,
but Kyle Shanahan hasn't came out and said that, has he?
I think
his reasoning, his explanation was all about the third possession. That's what my argument is based on.
That's true. Now, 831 wrote in and said, I got to offer an entirely different logical take. If indeed you defer and you do believe that there's a chance you both can either score field goals or touchdowns, you're giving Mahomes the third possession at that point.
If the Chiefs got the ball first.
If the Chiefs got the ball first and you match either field goals or touchdowns, you have now given Mahomes the chance to end the game.
No, not if Kyle Shanahan
the only way to do is if Kyle goes for two, and he's not going to do that.
Well, why not? Because that's what Andy Reid was going to do.
First, that's not their style, and they don't have that whole thing. And Andy Reid's a different dude.
But you're trying to win a Super Bowl here.
I know. But I think Kyle would probably not do it, knowing Kyle.
Well, then I think Andy Reid had a better game plan going in overtime.
Well, unless the two-point conversion doesn't work.
Then they lose.
Yeah. But then you kick the PAT and live to fight another day.
Andy Reid had that confidence. And if I was Kyle in that situation, if the 49ers had the ball second, I would have gone for two. Now, I'm not Kyle Shanahan, but I'm not giving the ball back to Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
I mean, what is his style? Blowing double-digit leads in the Super Bowl?
His style was to give him the ball second. So,
yeah,
I mean,
you gave him the opportunity to go win the game. I'm not giving Patrick the opportunity to go win the game.
So you're saying no matter what, you're going for two?
I think you have to kick the ball and go for two. I think that's the best strategy with the new overtime rules.
Okay. Well, you should probably be going for two pretty much weeks 1 through 16.
No, because they don't have the same overtime rules 1 through 16. This only happens in the playoffs.
What's the regular season overtime rule?
It doesn't matter. We're talking about the postseason overtime rules, which we saw the first kind of example of what was being laid out.
Let me offer you this. If you're the Niners, you score a touchdown first, do you go for two?
No, because then you force Patrick Mahomes.
No, because if you go for two and make it, then they can't. Then you've guaranteed you're getting the ball third.
Then you're putting extra possession on them.
No, same logic applies. Let's say you're Kyle and you take the ball first, you score a touchdown. By your logic, you should go for two there because that means that A, it's the Super Bowl, you got to go for it, and B, that means that you guarantee you're either going to win the game or get the third possession.
That's how you guarantee the third possession. But then if you don't get the two-point conversion, then Patrick Mahomes marches down the field and an extra point wins the game.
That's the same thing as kicking a field goal and presenting you to no. By your logic, if you get the ball first, you score a touchdown, you should go for two, which maybe isn't the wrong logic.
That was never my logic. My logic is if you have the option, you win the toss, you do not take the ball first. You take the ball second with the strategy of going for two to win the game. Because then that stops the third possession sudden death.
There's plenty of good reasons. It's not as black and white. I think it's more 51-49 than 100-0 that you defer and not defer. It's particularly because of the defense resting angle, too.
Well, that's the angle I agree with, but that's not the explanation we got from Kyle.
I don't even care what Kyle says. And by the way, the explanation is because he's sitting on a podium. I'm telling you, those Super Bowl postgame interviews are the most artificial things of all time. They last like 30 seconds. Those guys are in and out. And so, he didn't have a chance to sit down and discuss it at length. Your logic told you at the time that it was, the defense would just be on the field. We had talked about that too. So, but that's what we're kind of questioning is Kyle Shanahan's decision. And Kyle playing into the hand of Andy Reid tells me that he made the wrong decision.